Alright, let's see how you do here. Don't know. I don't have the space to record this, so I'll just have to rip it from the Twitch VOD. Put it on YouTube. Actually, I might. Hold on, let me take a look for a sec. I need to get my other hard drive plugged in. Okay. So,
attackers incoming.
I would say...
Stop the payload.
So that's not what I would do. But you don't necessarily need to do what I would do. The trap up here, I get what you're going for. I've done things like that before. It's less applicable now than it was back in Overwatch 1. But I like to place my trap in this room here. This room, and then place the mine on the door here. Because a lot of times people will try and go in here and get a cheeky view of up top. Especially since they're running Widowmaker. But more commonly, Widows like to go around to this side. They go around back here. But you'll get, when you play up front like here, like if your tank plays up here and stuff, you'll get support players that often go inside this room to take cover from the tank shooting at them, and they'll step in the trap and you just get a free kill. So that's one place you could put it. Alright, alright. Stop doing that. Keep your aim in the sky. Don't do this sky, ground, sky, ground, sky, ground. Don't do that. Like, it doesn't do anything to do that, and it makes your play hard to watch.
Enemy snapper! Keep your eyes open!
Wow, you almost got that Pharah. Whew. You almost got that Mercy, dude. That was good. That was a good one. Although, careful doing that, because what rank is this? This Widowmaker down here in GM top 500, Diamond. Okay, GM top 500, maybe even Masters. You would have died doing that. So careful doing that. Honestly, I think you're aiming too high here. The payload is still you're shooting, and you're shooting. I'm gonna guess you're trying to get the Pharah out of the sky. But one, you're kind of wasting time, and two, the payload where the rest of the enemies are not even here yet. You're not okay. What are you doing? Are you going for the Pharah? Your bombs can bounce off the bridge. What bridge? This one? because your bombs are not near it. Are you talking about this little wall here? The wall? Your nades are going too far, my man. You're aiming too high, which is why I thought you were aiming exclusively for the Farah. What you should be doing is aiming lower. You should be you should be aiming down here. You should be aiming right about here, because then you're not overshooting your nades. And your nades will bounce and hit this wall and go towards the payload, which is where the enemies are. That's what you need to be doing. You're overshooting your shot. Yeah, no, shooting the Widow in the back, shooting at the Widow in the back is fine. I've done it too. There's no harm in trying to get that shot. The thing is, though, you don't want to linger on shots like that. Which you're not doing. I'm just giving you a tip. Okay. Too much nothing going on right here. Too much. I presume you're waiting for the Farah to go back up into the air so you can try and take her down. You're as Junkrat, as any DPS player really, you never want a significant amount of time to go by while doing nothing. You're waiting for this Farah to go up in the air, but she's not doing it. So you're currently wasting time. You could be doing several things here. You could be peeking this edge, shooting the Widow down there, peeking the edge, shooting the payload, shooting at the Mercy. You could be you could be shooting at where the Doom is. You're taking too much time doing nothing, waiting for the Farah to show. Don't want to do that. I think right now, I think you're a bit too focused on taking out the Farah, and that's not what you need to do. I know it's like oh, look at me, Junkrat took out the Farah. Oh, but it's not important. That's not your job. So I think you've got a little bit of tunnel vision towards this Farah at the moment. If I'm wrong, we'll see what happens. But I don't want to see this the rest of the match. If you're continuously focusing that Farah, you're wasting time. Is this on console? Yeah, I think it is. Not a bad idea to flank. However, you want to be careful. Tip here. Tip here. First of all, you're shooting a bit too high. Bring it down just a tiny bit. Ever so slightly a bit too high. Second, this Doomfist, if he was Masters, maybe GM, honestly though, in Diamond he should have realized it. But this Doomfist could have just turned 90 degrees and smacked your ass against the wall you came out from behind. So if you're going to peek this angle, you need to place your trap right here. Because in higher ranks, that Doomfist is going to get you with your pants down. And if you immediately plop your trap right in here, the moment you peek, Doomfist may or may not notice it. If he does, He's going to destroy the trap first before attempting anything, and then then that's when you know, okay, I'm going to back up because now my safety net is gone. But if he doesn't see you place it and tries to punch you anyway, then he gets trapped. Then your Roadhog comes out, kills him, or you just kill him right there because he's already using his block. Wait, no, he's charging his punch. That's not his block. But still, place your trap here. Widow shows up. That was close. Would have been a nice shot. So I see you doing it, seen it a couple times, wanted to see if it was going to change. I've done it too, but you want to make sure, you want to try and not do this. You're throwing your concussion mine, and you're no longer shooting grenades. You're waiting for your concussion mine to land and to detonate before you start shooting your grenades again. You don't want to do that. You need to keep sending those grenades out. Unless you have a plan to meet your concussion mine with your grenade, then you just want to keep shooting. You see it, the same thing happens with tracers. Bad tracers, when they have pulse bomb, they'll make it super obvious because they'll blink in and they won't shoot at you. They'll blink in, they'll dodge around a bit, and maybe they'll recall whatever, but they won't shoot because they're looking for a pulse bomb lineup. They're fully concentrated on it. The better tracers come in, pretend like they're going to one-clip you by actually shooting you, and then they stick you. Or they come in and stick you immediately and then leave. So keep shooting. Don't wait for your concussion mine to land. Don't lose your focus. Don't focus solely on the concussion mine. Unless you're specifically lining it up. Which it doesn't look like you're doing here. I take it you didn't notice the Widowmaker? Cause she's fully visible. So I'm just gonna say you somehow missed that. Okay. So now, couple reasons. First of all, on GM, well, on PC in general, that Widow would have killed you. Because she can aim. On PC, you can aim better on PC than you can on console. It's just a fact. And it's probably why you didn't do this, or you just didn't think of it. But you know the Widow's in this room. She can't go anywhere. What you need to, you have 2 mines available. What you need to do is you need to jump in there with the first one. You need to place the first one on the ground outside the room. Use it to jump in there, because in GM, and maybe even in lower ranks on PC, the moment you round that corner, you're dead. You're instantly headshotted. You don't have the luxury to do, especially just walking, not even jumping. You don't, like, this Widow should have killed you. You don't have this luxury. You need to jump in there with the first mine and kill her with the second mine. Or jump in there with both mines and just kill her with a grenade because she's already low. So 1 nade will do it. You needed to be more aggressive with killing this Widow because she should have killed you. Okay. Tunnel visioning on the Farah again. Um, there are more important things to be doing here than placing your concussion mine on the ground and waiting for Farah to be visible. Like, you know Doomfist is still there. He's low, you can see his health bar, just barely. You could help out your Roadhog. You see Farah. Okay, this is where I don't understand your choice. Widowmaker is right here. You saw her, you hurt her. Farah is gone, not in the same spot. And you choose to ignore the Widow, which would have killed you on PC and in GM and in Masters, probably Diamond. And you focus on the Farah and not the Widow shooting at you from the back. That Widow should have killed you, but it's Diamond and you're on console, so she didn't. When you move to PC, you're gonna kind of be in for a surprise because you can't get away with what you're doing here. So, if your original purpose in going into the air was to kill Farah, which I'm sure it was, it might have been my original purpose too. But as soon as you see that Widow there on the stairs, my purpose changes. Fuck the Farah. She's gone out of your screen. You don't know where she went. Widow's right here, standing still, easy to kill. I would have gone for that Widow. Also, try and place your trap more on the entrance right here. You got confused at that point with all of them. It looked like you were a bit unsure who to target. Because when you went up in the air and I saw that Widow, my immediate thought was, okay, target Widow. And you took a second to even choose a target, and then you chose Farah. So it does show hesitancy, and you're not sure about target priority. Okay, couple things. The first 3 seconds of that Reptire, not bad. Not bad. Okay, here's what I would have done. This building over here. Roll it on this building. Get some more height on it. Second thing. This Widow. In GM, this Widow's already killed your tire. This Widow is oblivious to what is going on. And if the Widow doesn't kill your tire when it gets here, she kills it when it's here. And you should have detonated your tire here. But you rolled it a bit further. And the Widow, it's like she was surprised that she killed it. Yeah, honestly, let's take a look. The Riptire fell into her crosshair. And she goes to continue to shoot it because she thought she was gonna miss. So you held your tire for too long, and you probably should have rolled it against the building beside you because you lost some of that height. If you roll it on this building, you get more height, and you can get it further to the back line to kill the Moira and the Widow. Like, if you detonate here, you're only killing the Widow, which you should have detonated here. But if you rolled it on the building over here, got some more height, you could have brought it down and killed both of these guys. That was also bad right there. Because in GM, you're dead. Right here, you're dead. You're dead here as well, and you're dead here as well. You can't afford to be jumping into the air in GM against a Widowmaker. You will instantly die. You have to stay low to the ground and use cover. Now, if you know the Widow is focusing somebody else, like if you see her shoot at another target, or if you hear her just shoot, you might be able to take a risky peek because she won't have enough power on her rifle to one-shot you, or she'll still be shooting at the target that she shot at before. So you can kind of get away with some of that mid-air stuff, but you have to be careful when you do it. You can't just blindly jump up there. You can definitely see the hindrance a controller makes, the hindrance the controller gives a player in this game, because you can't. There's no flicking your controller. You can't aim fast enough to where you need to. But one thing, like when you're going against a Pharah as Junkrat, you wanna somewhat be aware of when Pharah is gonna use her ult, because that's when she's easily killable. That's the problem? Well, it's not the problem. It's a problem. There's a lot of other problems in this VOD. Okay. You're tunnel visioning the Pharah still, and you can't be doing that. If you tunnel, like this is probably why you lost this game. You are too focused on Pharah. That's not your job. Also, you're just not shooting as Junkrat. I get that you're trying to take out the Pharah, but you're waiting to line up these shots that aren't close. If they were closer, I'd give you more credit, but they're far off. And right here, you jump in, and you're not shooting. You're not shooting. You're still not shooting. You take a lot of time to shoot. And you're tunnel visioning too hard on Pharah. That Widow was low back there. You could have seen her health and gone for it. What you should have done, in my opinion, actually, is rather than taking this flank, like the payload's right here. I never trust my teammates to get on the payload, so I always play for the payload. So what you should have done is come here. Look, Mercy's the only one moving the payload. So you come out this way. Pharah's focused in the back on your Mercy. Doomfist is as well. Mercy's not even pocketing Pharah. She's just, for whatever reason, turned around. Oh, because Roadhog was back there. Wait, your Roadhog was out here? Okay. So, here's what you should have done. You come out here, place a trap on the payload, you kill the Mercy. Even if you don't kill the Mercy, you boop her off, payload doesn't move. Widowmaker's already low, you can throw a concussion mine at her in the back to kill her off. You really just have to watch for Doomfist, But once you get Mercy off the payload, you turn your focus back over here until the Widowmaker peeks her spot. Is this a VOD? Yeah, it's a VOD review. The offer's still up. Can I look at one of your replays? Did you lose? Okay. Another thing here is Widow stepped in your trap. Now, you might have forgotten where you put your trap, or you didn't want to follow up on it. But typically, if your trap gets triggered, you kind of want to stop what you're doing and focus on your trap. Now, I think this was a little bit too far. You might have been able to squeak it out, a kill on the Widow. But if your trap gets triggered, you want to stop what you're doing and focus that trap. Because unless your trap is closer, you don't know who's in it. You forgot it was there. Yeah, I had a feeling. I forget where it is sometimes too. So it's not that big a deal. Just another opportunity you might have had here. You might have been able to get a kill on the Widow. But yeah, you're spending a lot of time not shooting or shooting 1 or 2 shots and then reloading, followed by more not shooting. You need to be constantly shooting at this payload. It also looks like you don't make your decision to shoot the Pharah until you get right up in her face, like you're afraid you're gonna miss. If I was going for the Pharah right here with this jump, I would have shot at her already. My first shot would have came out right here or just before here. And then you would have killed the Pharah, and then when you dropped, you could have killed the Widow. Then maybe Mercy would have tried to res the Pharah. Who knows? You could have killed Mercy, but you would have put a trap on the payload at the same time. In higher ranks, you're doing so many things at the same time and thinking about so many things at the same time because that's just what you have to do in high ranks. It looks like your thought process is not that fast yet, which is fine because it's just you're just a lower ranked player and you don't have that knowledge, that game sense, that mechanical skill, whatever, to accomplish that. One of the biggest differences between high rank play and low rank play is the speed at which it happens.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Let me lose a match in solo queue support. Oh, Prosac, this is only for Junkrat. Like, I'm not qualified. I mean, I play some support on my alternate account, but I'm not qualified to really give you an extensive, in-depth review on support. Should make VOD reviews rewards with points. I did do that, but like I want to do VOD reviews when I want to do VOD reviews. I don't want to feel like I have to do a VOD review and then begrudgingly do a VOD review, you know? I want to be in the mood at the right time to do a VOD review so I can make the review good. What up, Eddie?
This'll tickle their feet.
Careful, there's more of them than us.
Hi, my little friend.
Okay. So, problem here as well.
This'll tickle their feet.
First of all, you're flanking. And you're not crouching. Second of all, Pharah clearly sees you.
Careful,
But
there's
you
more
just...
of them than us.
You continue on by like she didn't see you. She clearly saw you, and you're still not crouching. Traveling full speed, so she hears your footsteps, she saw you,
Fly, my little
and you
friend.
throw a concussion mine, so now she heard the concussion mine land and beep, and also you threw the concussion mine 10 feet away from you, so now you have to walk up to it, versus throwing it at your feet because you know Farah just saw you. So you have to get to your concussion mine to run away from the Pharah who's going to kill you. You were trying to bait her, but it didn't work. Okay, I understand trying to bait, But when you bait somebody into doing something, you need to have a contingency. You need to have an option for what happens if it fails. You didn't have one of those. Your only option here was to kill the Pharah or die. If you like, for instance, the only other way this could have gone is the Pharah whiffs on you and you somehow run away and make it around this corner. But look who's coming. Widow. Your Mercy just died and your Hog just died. You can't afford to be walking up here by yourself. Because now you died and your team is still walking back from spawn. And now when your team is ready to fight, you're not going to be because you're coming out from spawn. So that was not a smart play. You should have stayed over here. Wait for your team to get back. And then try a flank play. But also, crouch when you do it, because they will hear your footsteps. The rank is Diamond. Soldier made the same mistake. Soldier just saw you die. Soldier should never try and 1v1 a pocketed Pharah. And he didn't even put his heal station down.
Helden sterben nicht. Justice reigns from above.
I got us outnumbered.
Okay. So as soon as you hear Pharah ult, you need to immediately find the direction that she's ulting from and kill her. She's only vulnerable for a short amount of time. Now,
Helden sterben nicht. Justice.
you hear her. She's to your right and below the platform. You need to, as soon as possible, go straight, drop, and kill her. And if you need to, use a concussion mine to boost yourself forward so you can clear this line of sight, whip around 180 and kill the Pharah. If that sounds hard, you're not ready for GM. That's what you need to do here. And I don't know why you looked up here. Because you can hear the Pharah is below you to your right. If you looked up trying to find the Pharah, you're not ready for GM. So, now, I understand that audio in this game can be a bit wonky sometimes. But the Pharah was clearly not up here.
I got us outnumbered.
Okay, so these air shots, you're doing this flick thing that Aquamarine does. Don't try and be Aquamarine. Because your flick shots are not on target. Your best air shot was at the very beginning of the game where you actually almost killed that Mercy. And you want to know why you almost killed that Mercy? You didn't flick shot. Jumped in the air, you threw a mine with a great trajectory, and you held the shot. You didn't flick. Flicking's not for you. Now that you mention it, it's my idea or Junk. Is it my idea or do Junk's sound footsteps? Junk's footsteps are really loud. Yes, a lot of the footsteps in this game in general are super loud. You got the code ProSec. You must have missed what I said. I'm not doing a support review. I do Junkrat reviews. I don't do support.
Meteor strike.
it's tank, the same thing still applies.
0 to 3. Switching
I have
sides.
hours on tank and support, but I don't have enough to where I feel confident to give you a good in-depth review. I could try my best, but it would be better to get a VOD review of somebody that is a tank player.
Maybe one day
Because
we go on
my
missions in
tank is
Hawaii.
barely GM.
Hi, my little friend. Lovely armor for a mission, isn't it?
Should you do another match to see if it's a bit better?
Again.
But what you should do is wait till I finish reviewing this match, take what I've said, and try and learn from that. If you're planning on sending me a VOD in a week, don't. It's not gonna do anything different. You need to take what I've said here, apply it, and honestly just grind until you reach higher ranks. Sending me a VOD review in a week isn't going to do anything. Sending me a VOD review in a month, you might see a little bit of difference. But you need to, like, after this, it's going to take, like, looking at this VOD, and I'm not even done looking at it. But it appears to me that you're not, well, first of all, you need to be on PC. Then we'll see how you do. And second of all, you are missing some key thought processes that go on for higher ranked play. You got a code for Sombra. Vaya, did you not hear what I said? I'm only reviewing junk. Bro, I'm gold tank. The shit you say will be exuberant. Gold tank.
Her diverse need is its own reward.
Hello.
Okay, maybe if you're gold, it'll be better. Like, if you're gold, maybe I can offer you some advice.
1.
But I'm gonna play a game after this.
Escort the payload.
Affirmative. Come in.
Gold tank gameplay, Pepe laugh.
Come in. Escort in progress.
Okay, little tip here. So I usually do use 2 mines to get over this roof, but actually you can use 1 mine. Destroy these railings, place your mine here, and then do a jump. This roof's slant hitbox is, for some reason, lenient enough to where you can actually just slide on over with 1 concussion mine. Now, like I said, I use 2 to get over that roof, so you don't have to try and use 1. Just saying, it can be done with 1 mine.
Come in.
You're hard stuck gold plat 4 on all rolls. What DPS?
This'll tickle their bits.
What rank is your DPS?
Thanks.
Okay. Now,
Orders.
in GM, they're not going to forget that you're back here. In fact, that sim is going to place a TP right here and come kill you.
Goodbye. You need
There's
this.
much for you to do.
Okay. So, what are you doing? In the first half of this game, I mentioned something. You never want to be doing a bunch of nothing for a prolonged period amount of time. This is you doing nothing for a prolonged period amount of time. You're not doing anything. The payload has not moved. Your team is dying. You are doing nothing. Go and contribute.
Driving the payload forward.
Waiting for them to carry on shooting your team so you can get them. The only one their sim is right now shooting at you and preventing you from going in there. You are wasting time. Your team is dying. Your Doomfist luckily got a kill on their Tracer. But you need to go out there and help. Your job is not to sit here in the back and do nothing.
This will cut the pace.
You got lucky. You got so lucky. Do not do this when you get a computer.
Enemy target located.
In GM, maybe even on PC and Diamond, the moment you came in for an attack, you would have died. Because everyone should have known you were back there.
Winchester, take power.
I reach chaos.
It looks like you're a bit focused on making flashy plays. And you don't need to do that.
Waiting.
Because you're sitting up here on this bridge, right? You're waiting for them to carry on shooting your team so you can get them. Okay. Scenario number 1. Your team never gets them because you're not there to help them. What do? Do you continue to sit here? This is fun. We should do this more. He needs them clips for content. Yeah, you don't need to go for these flashy plays, dude. Too much nothing going on. $9.48. You went almost 10 seconds doing nothing. Don't do that. You need to be constantly shooting into enemy players. I don't know what you're doing up here on this high ground. You heard the sim turrets. Maybe you were looking for those. But, you know, they're destroyed now. You reload. Okay. You turned around. Why? You turned around again. Why? You're still not shooting towards the enemy team. Why? You're hiding behind the payload now when no one is shooting at you. Why? That would have been good if you hit that. Okay, good. Okay, not good. So, this building right here is hard to climb. So, this is where you need to climb it. Don't move your tire any further that way until you climb it here. Because this is the only acceptable place. This is the only place that your tire is going to easily climb the wall.
Incoming.
You can tell this is a lower rank because of where the enemy Roadhog was playing. He should not have been playing out that far. Also, you should be putting your trap on the payload. shoot quicker. You took a bit long to shoot the Roadhog there. Same thing again. Shoot quicker.
Come in.
Oh, I'm ready.
We're outnumbered.
Healthy body, healthy mind.
My ultimate is almost ready.
Can't move until the payload. Go push a rock up the hill.
The fuck was that, Kariko? Bro, what are you doing?
Take cover.
I've got us outnumbered.
This would not work in GM because you would have gotten sniped standing there at the edge of the map waiting for your concussion mine cooldown, or that Roadhog would have whole hogged you off.
Don't tell anyone. Fire in the hole.
Not forgetting the payload, are we?
Another issue. You like how harsh I am? You feel it helps compared to people who sugarcoat? I try to be nice. I don't like. There are other people that do VOD reviews and they're like, and they be mean or more harsh for comedic value. I'm not in it for the comedy. Okay. So, here's what's wrong with this. First of all, you spent way too much time doing absolutely nothing going around the back for this flank. Second of all, you rip-tired way too far away from the enemy. Third, you rip-tired when your team was dead and not contesting the enemy team. So what that means is everyone on the enemy team is going to be looking where your rip-tire is because that's the only thing they need to focus because your team is not pushing in. The best time to rip-tire is when there's a lot of chaos going on. If you're going to do a flank tire, you need to make sure that where you tire is very close to the enemy team so that they don't have time to react to where the tire's coming from.
Farewell.
Oh, why have I got this detonator again?
Okay, your other problem.
Farewell.
Oh, why have I got this detonator again?
You see Soldier right here? You hear him? And for some reason you jumped in the air. Now, if this wasn't console, even in Platinum, that Soldier would have killed you. In GM, you're not going to last more than a second. In fact, in GM, that Soldier probably would have killed you before you even got off the ground.
No.
Can't wait.
The payload is advancing, as it should. Incoming!
Heroes never die.
Get out, blacks, my bye.
Healing fortified.
I am indefatigable.
My ultimate is ready. Deploy.
60 seconds.
You're shooting your grenades too slow. I get that you're trying to aim them and line them up, but that's not what you need to be doing here. Okay. You took too long to jump to the high ground to get to that soldier. You need to do it quicker.
I'm moving to payload.
If you're gonna go for him, that's what you need to do.
Seconds remaining.
Where you going, dude? Okay. So, here's my final thoughts. I think that you would greatly benefit from moving to PC. So it's good that that's what you're doing. But moving to PC is not going to make you instantly better. In fact, you will probably be instantly worse because the people on PC are already better than people on console. But aside from that, your biggest problems are you stand around doing nothing for too long. So be more active in the battle. 2, stop focusing Fair Mercy. That's not your job. 3, you need to continuously shoot. You're waiting too long between your shots that aren't even hitting. If you were hitting your shots, it would be different and I would give you more credit, but you're not hitting them. So you need to be constantly shooting. Also, your flanks are pretty bad because you take too long to flank and you end up not doing anything. So I would suggest play more frontline Junkrat until you get a bit more game sense. If you want to have the flank play style, then what you need to do first and foremost is gain some game sense. And I think your best bet for doing that is in the front line. Ends up being 4v5 for small periods of time from the flanking. Exactly. There were several moments where you sat waiting for too long for your team to do something so you could come in and do other things. When you came in, you didn't do anything. You got a trap on the Moira. That was lucky. You would have died in a higher rank attempting to do that. You need to... It might be a good idea to have this same VOD reviewed by Aqua, Dizzian, maybe COD Code. You could get Crow to look at it as well, maybe. I don't know if he does any. But they're going to be able to critique your flank better since they have typically more of a flank playstyle, especially Aqua. But you weren't able to do it right here. You took too long and you did nothing. And if you were on the front line shooting the front, you would have helped your tank. You would have dealt more damage to the enemy team. And you would have got your tire quicker as well. So stop going for flashy plays. Fair Mercy is not your job. And stop doing nothing for too long. If you go 3 seconds not doing anything, too long already. Now, there are exceptions to that. The majority of the time, too long. You need to get in there and be doing something. Junkrat, the point of Junkrat is to create chaos within the battle area. You're not doing that. And that's the most important thing. So, flank less, play frontline more, do less nothing, and stop going for flashy plays. When you get more game sense and a higher rank, then you can do those things. Because when you're higher rank, you'll have better knowledge on how to accomplish those plays that it looks like you want to do. It looks like you're trying to emulate Aqua and emulate the rats that just come in from the ceiling and kill 3 people. Those guys are GM and top 500 because they already know how to do that. You're trying to do that now without knowing how to do it. You need to figure out how to do it first and then do it. So, those are my biggest takeaways. I will